I don't see my water.
It's the studio, you're not
It's
supposed to
college
have
campus.
drinks in here.
You guys have drinks in here?
We were told we're not allowed anything but water. No.
Okay. Hi everyone, welcome to the Santa Fe University of Art and Design live chat with the photography program. My name is Chris Nail. I'm technical faculty for the photo department. I run the facility, plus I also teach a lot of classes. We will, in addition to our students, we'll also be joined by Tony O'Brien, who's our department chair. He had to step away just at the last second for what I think might have been a small, minor emergency, but he will hopefully be joining us shortly. So I'll just kind of let everybody go down the line and let everybody introduce themselves and talk about what their specializations are, year they are at the school, and that good stuff.
Okay, well, I'll start out. Hi, I'm Willow. I'm a second semester freshman. I'm a BA photography.
Hi, I'm Kylie. I'm a second semester senior, and I'm a BA photography.
Hi, I'm Jenny. I'm a second semester junior, and I am also a BA in photography.
Hi, my name is Chelsea Garcia, and I'm a senior BFA major, and I'm from Bryan College Station, Texas.
Hi, I'm Tony, and I'm the chair of the photography department. And
We
let
still
me
got
get
a
a
seat
seat.
for you, Tony.
Sorry.
We told you Tony would be back.
Oh.
All right, so we've got our first question up. So the question is, hi, I was wondering if there are any clubs or organizations on campus for students. Who wants to talk about Photo Society?
I guess I'm in it right now.
Okay, there we go.
But the photography department has quite a few students who are part of the Photo Society Club. And currently we're working on raising money to set up kind of a photo booth at this outdoor vision festival that we have at the end of the semester. So basically this club kind of just puts on like photography projects and raises money for them, and also does field trips. So we encourage anyone in the photography department, no matter freshman, junior, senior, sophomore, forgot that. But anyone who wants to join is absolutely welcome, and it's a great opportunity to get in touch with other photographers and work sort of as a collaboration. But yeah, it's a good experience for sure.
Well, the Photo Society's been on fire this year too.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you guys are having a field trip that you're organizing like every other weekend,
Yeah.
shooting stuff. I heard rumors of a camping trip coming up soon.
Can't go, but there's a camping trip. That sounds like so much fun.
Cool. So in addition to that, there's also a lot of other clubs on campus. We worry mostly about the Photo Society since it's the photo organization, but there's Feminist Collective. I think there's like
There's
3
colors.
film clubs.
There's there's a film club for every night of the week.
And we just found out today, should you want to go to jackalopemagazine.com, that we even have a football club on campus.
I was wondering why Jason had a football today.
Because
Okay.
we were doing the story. We have a magazine, an online magazine called Jackalope Magazine. And it's a really good place for you to go take a look. We have new stories that come out every week. And the story about the football club would be posted tomorrow. So,
All right, looks like we've got a new question from Stephanie. What types of subjects do you photograph? You guys are seniors. Should
Kylie?
we list the list?
you want to answer that?
Yeah, I like to do graffiti mostly. I just finished up a project today on photographing a local tattoo shop. And I am the associate photography editor for Jackalope. So that gives me a huge range of things to photograph, clubs, people. It's really great.
And Jennifer, you want to touch on that also?
Sure. Initially, when I came to Santa Fe University of Art and Design, I actually was really interested in photojournalism and was thinking about, oh, I can work for National Geographic and go travel the world and take photos of all these people, animals, everything. And then my sophomore year, I was given a fashion photography project, and I actually really, really liked it. So now I'm actually kind of a little bit more interested in fashion photography. It still kind of goes back and forth, but in general, I just really like photographing people and animals too, but also the ability to travel with photography and photograph while you're traveling too is really fun.
Willow?
Oh, well, I'm still really new at this, so I kind of fluctuate between assignments and everything. A lot of what I photograph is landscapes and things that people don't really look at. So like roadside crosses and subjects that are kind of hard for people to swallow.
And Chelsea?
I photograph an array of things, but I did a portfolio review this past Saturday, and a theme that was reoccurring throughout multiple bodies of work of mine was the body. So I would say I photograph the body a lot.
Oh.
All right, so let's see, our next question is also from Stephanie. How big is your department?
I guess I'll answer that. We have about between 60 and 65 students in the department. And we have 3 different tracks that we have. We have a commercial studio track, we have a fine art gallery practices track, and we have a new media journalism track, storytelling basically. And so, as I said, it's about 65 students right now. Probably next fall, we are thinking it'll go up to about 75, possibly even 80. So.
Just even kind of from a facility standpoint, since that's one of the things I kind of run for Tony. The building itself, the Marion Center for Photographic Arts, was specifically designed to house a photography program, and we've actually got a little bit of room still to grow. So we're not quite busting at the seams yet. So it's I don't know. I think it's pretty comfortable.
Yeah.
Let's see. Stephanie then says, "I too am interested in perhaps working for National Geographic." That's how a lot of students come to photography.
And hopefully you will get that opportunity if you come.
Let's see, our next question. Are there opportunities for collaboration on campus?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
There's a great deal of opportunity for collaboration. As a matter of fact, I think Jennifer was involved with collaborating with the theater department. We have also do collaborations with, the contemporary music department. Who else?
Can I speak on this
Yeah,
real
please.
quick? I'm actually taking a course right now called Communication Design, and it's in the guinea pig phase because this is the first semester they're offering it, but it's gonna run a lot smoother. Not to say that it's not running well, it's just, they're still working through some things, but it has students from the photography department, the graphic design department, and the creative writing department. Ideally, we're supposed to have, for each group, for each project, have one photographer, one graphic designer, and one creative writer, and work on a collaborative project, whether that's like a magazine cover or an article layout, whatever. Right now we have a lot more graphic designers, and they needed more photographers. So if you're interested, absolutely take that course. But it's a really great experience to be able to learn to work as a group, because that can be difficult sometimes, but if you learn how to do it, it's a very important skill.
Yeah, and I'll add on real fast too.
Yeah.
For my senior thesis, I have multiple components. I have a short film, I have a book, and I have my photographs, of course. And Tony and a few other people in the department jokingly jab at me for having a whole team. I have a writer from the creative writing department, I have a graphic designer that graduated a few years ago, and then I have a whole film crew doing behind the scenes and helping me edit my film. So collaboration is definitely a big thing on this campus that happens, and it's really great.
Okay, let's see. We've got a couple questions from Raymond. Raymond says, "Second here for the collaboration question. That is a really exciting idea to me. I've been shooting for other art projects in the Albuquerque area lately, and I found it helps with growth."
Absolutely.
I think everyone agrees, Raymond.
No, it truly does. And the thing about collaborating in photography today and in the art world, collaboration is much more of a greater part of it. There used to be a time when the photographer, you worked alone, but no longer. Now it's all about being able to collaborate, and different people bringing different techniques to whatever project you're working on. So I think it's wonderful that you are doing this.
Let's see. To know again.
I think it's design communication. When I signed up for it, I think it was called art and direction, so I don't know
Art and
which
direction,
one.
but
Yeah.
now it is design.
communication.
Yeah.
I just kept thinking of it as that one really cool class I wish I could take. That's not what it's called. Don't look that up.
And then we have a question, is there a thesis involved with the program? And yes, there is, and actually I'm going to let Chelsea speak to that, in that she is graduating this semester, working on her BFA thesis, and so I'll let her talk a little bit about that.
So yeah, so if you decide to go and get your Bachelor of Fine Arts, you will have a thesis that's a part of that. So you'll apply, I believe, your sophomore year, correct, for the program? Is that correct?
Yeah.
So you apply then, and then you go through a portfolio review, and they'll let you know if you're into the program or not. And then upon getting in, you then have to work on a thesis. For some people, that's a year. For some people, that's a semester. It depends. So I've been working on my thesis for a year now, and it's a project I started my sophomore year, fall of sophomore year. So I've been working on and off for a few years on it, but I've been really working on it since August, and it's been great. It's been crazy, but I've been really enjoyed working on my thesis and having a project that kind of sums up all the skills that I've learned over the course of 4 years, and I feel like that's kind of what a thesis is and what it should be.
And also in the thesis class, we have a senior thesis in fall and in spring. But also part of the class, we bring in artists from the community, photographers from the community, to meet with the students, to review their work, to critique and discuss their work. And that's been really quite a wonderful help. I mean, we bring in someone who's book publisher, fine art photographer, Kate Ware, who is the curator of the photography program at the Fine Art Museum of New Mexico. So that also is part of the whole thesis process.
Yeah.
So let's see, our next question is from Stephanie. Does the department issue cameras and other equipment to students, or do we bring our own to every class?
Dr. Nail.
Some days I feel like I just have people chasing me all over the building asking for tripods. So there's two kind of answers to that. One is the program participates in what we call the Camera in Every Hand program. So students who are coming to Santa Fe University of Art and Design to study either photography or film receive a DSLR camera. It changes a little bit from year to year what the exact package is. And as long as you're with us for, is it 2 or 4 semesters?
4 semesters.
4 semesters. I knew I was going to get that wrong. It's just yours. So the philosophy there is we want to make sure that you've got equipment right from the get-go and you can shoot when you need to. Now, it's not unusual these days for a student to come in already having a DSLR camera, and a lot of students don't too, so we want to make sure that they have one. So if you have one, and maybe it's even nicer if you come in with a Canon 5D Mark III, something like that, cool, you got a backup body, you're ready to go. But for students who are coming in and taking a film class, we have students take film classes right off the bat, so we're in the wet dark room. Most of our students don't come in with a 35mm film camera. We check them out. So we will put a camera in your hand for the semester. Just try to bring it back in one piece, and everything's okay. We also have a range of tripods, lenses, medium format film cameras, not medium format, digital, large format cameras, recording equipment. We try to keep as well stocked as we can. Our cage is probably never going to be as full as we would like it to be because there's a lot of stuff that we need, flashes, whatever we need to check out. And that's not a thing where people will come in and say, well, I need to rent a such and such. If you need it for class, we just get your instructor's approval, I barcode scan your ID, and off you go. So it doesn't cost you anything else. Just make sure you bring it back and everything's okay. Because we don't want equipment to be a stumbling block to anybody's education. So, if you want to try out a medium format film camera, we want to put one in your hand. If you want to try out a speed light, we want to make sure you have that opportunity, without having to go out and invest a lot of money up front in order to find out you like something or you don't like something. So, yeah. All right, let's see. Our next question from Raymond. Awesome, did any of you switch between BA and BFA? Okay, the giggles are making me think maybe yes. I'm looking at a BA right now, but don't want to limit myself, if that makes sense. So, which of you guys have done that?
I did.
Okay.
Kylie, yeah. Speak to her, Kylie, that's funny.
Yeah.
I was gonna do BFA, and then I realized I wanted to do a minor in studio arts, so I dropped down to just a BA.
Turn off your cell phone,
And I don't regret just having a BA. I had to drop my minor because I just had so much else going on. And you can also do a senior show with your BA, which is what I'm doing right now, which is like maybe not as much work as a thesis, but it's still really nice to have something to show for.
Yeah, and I came in just wanting a BA, and when my former chair asked me if I wanted to switch to a BFA, I told her no. And then I found myself applying to the BFA program, and now I'm doing a thesis. So I switched, and that I think was better for me because I'm pursuing grad school at the moment, so I think that for me the BFA was the right way to go.
You have the opportunity to choose whichever you like. And one of the things about the BA that is, attractive, as Chip Kiley said, was that should you want to minor with one of the other departments, studio arts or music or what have you, creative writing, with the BA that gives you that opportunity. But at the same time, as they said, you have a choice. You have up until your sophomore year to make that decision and decide which route you'd like to go. And you can also be involved in the BFA, and then you may decide, I really don't think this is for me. You would go back to a BA. We try to really work with you in any way that we can that will help you and support you in what you're hoping to do.
I think one thing too that's important to kind of realize is that a BA and a BFA, it's not one is a higher degree than another. And the BFA is kind of considered the preparatory degree to go towards going on to a graduate program. So if that's something that's going to further your career goals, then maybe you look at that. But BA, BFA, they're the same level of undergraduate degrees. So it's not one is better than the other. But yeah, you can switch around. It's good.
So my personal favorite subject of photography are macro images of nature. Can I work with that more in this class? I think what I will do is turn it over to the students on this because they're in class. They know things that they want to do or not want to do, and how I think we really are open to people pursuing what it is your passion and allowing you to put, that's what the classes are for. But anybody want to touch that?
I mean, if you take any beginning through advanced digital classes, you pretty much have free reign to pick what subject you want to photograph and print. You're not really limited to just one subject or one thing.
I mean, like Kylie said also earlier, she's very much into graffiti, and her work with that has popped up in a number of different classes, I believe.
Yeah, I've done graffiti in pretty much all of my classes, even in classes that aren't photo classes. I just happen to always go back to that. So if you're really passionate about that subject, then you should definitely do it as much as you can.
Okay. Are there any internships available to students? I'll touch on that very briefly, and then we can turn it over to a couple of the students, but yes, there are. If you are a BFA student, you have to do an internship, and we hope that just about all of our students do an internship. It gives you an idea of what, you may want to, say, be a studio photographer, and we would hook you up with a studio photographer here in Santa Fe. You might go out and work with them, assist them in their work, and you may find that that's not what you want to do. You may want to decide, oh, maybe I want to do something else. So most of our students do internships. We have an internship with the Georgia O'Keeffe Museum in Santa Fe, where our students record stories and do photographs of people that know Georgia, knew Georgia, and then that work goes in the archives of the museum with their credit, and the student has access anytime they want. We have students that have interned with with Outside Magazine, with the Santa Fe New Mexican. We have students now this summer. One student is going to New York to intern with Esquire Magazine. Another student's going to London this summer through an internship program we have on campus here to intern with a fashion photographer, a well-known fashion photographer in London during the summer. Internships are really, really important. And it's not about you going for slave labor, it's about going to learn. And that's one of the things that's wonderful we have set up. And the other piece to the internship, Santa Fe is a mecca for artists, you know, painters, sculptors, photographers. So you have the ability to work with a photographer in your field, a fine art photographer, intern at a photography gallery, intern with a commercial photographer. It's really important, and we believe very much into it. Chelsea.
My sister's name.
Kelsey's sister. No, Chelsea did an internship, and she could talk to you about it. She's done one with Site Santa Fe here in town and with Radius Books. And I don't know if anybody else has, but please speak to it.
Yeah, so last fall I got to intern with Site Santa Fe, which is our major contemporary museum in town. And I've actually been able to work with them quite often over the course of last year, which has been really great. I was an education intern with them, and Site Santa Fe really treats their interns very well. I think there was 5 of us last fall, and we had like our little orientation, and then they had a cute little intern appreciation party at the end of it, and they were really in touch with my supervisors and their young curators program over there. So it was a really great thing, and I learned a lot. And then this semester I got to intern with Radius Books, which is a book publishing company in town, and they do really beautiful books. And I felt like that was something that I didn't have a really great knowledge on, was books and what they meant to photographers. And so I've been wanting to intern with them since my spring of junior year. And so I reached out a couple times, and actually my internship at Site got me an internship at Radius Books. They knew each other and worked really well, so my supervisor sent an email on my behalf, and I got them an internship. So I'm one of the 2 interns at Radius this semester. And they also treat their interns really well, and they definitely don't abuse me at all.
Good. What other types of assignments are there?
All types.
Tony and I are just going to let's kick it off.
Well, you can start as a freshman,
Yeah.
and we'll take you through.
Okay, well, freshmen, depending on which part you start off with, either in the film or the digital, you get a very vast array of assignments that you get to do. So you can do assignments based on, double exposure is what we did at one point in the dark room. We did an assignment, actually currently we're working on an assignment on stitching images together in beginning digital class. We work on our own independent projects, so like around finals, I know freshmen, we get to choose kind of what we want to do images of. Last semester I did it on a very hard subject of suicide, trying to bring it forward. This semester I'm doing it on roadside crosses, and it kind of goes around, and you basically get to try out everything. You get to try out taking images of texture and color and just kind of exploring a vast array of things that you can possibly lead into and focus more on in the future.
Jennifer, you want to talk about the visual storytelling class and what you've been doing with the homeless?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm currently taking a course that's visual storytelling, kind of focusing on the photo essay. I actually took a class 2 semesters ago that was audio and visual storytelling, which, as it sounds, paired audio with photos, and that was interesting. In that class, we kind of learned how to use certain programs like Adobe Premiere and Sound Slides and other things like that, and just, learning how to tell stories with photos and audio. And at the end of the year, I did a project. It was one of those like free reign, kind of do whatever project you want as long as it's this amount of length and includes audio and some sort of visual, either photo or video. And I focused on the LGBT community on Christian campuses, because my brother was in that sort of community and I got to interview him for that. So that was a project I was really proud of. And then, so now I'm taking one course that's focused more on photo essay. And like we mentioned a little bit before, we were kind of collaborating with the theater department, where they were doing a show that was focusing on teen homelessness. So as a class, we photographed the homeless community of Santa Fe to kind of bring that forward and hopefully create a discussion about that. And we had our photos shown in the lobby of the theater when that performance was happening. And currently, it's another final project. You do whatever you want as long as it's this length. And I'm focusing right now on this organization called Girls Inc. in Santa Fe, which is sort of an after-school program for girls and kind of empowering girls to become independent young women and stuff. So there's a lot of projects, not only photography projects, but I've also been able to use video and audio within the photography department, which was really cool too.
Kylie, you have?
Yeah, I'm also in that class, and we also are working with a local artist who was kind of mapping out Santa Fe, and we're photographing right now like different bakeries in Santa Fe and pairing our photographs with audio. So there's like so much that you can do, and I mean, if there's something you really want to try, you just have to ask your professor. And, yeah.
And we're pretty nice.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Are there any strong feelings about tattoos on campus? Not actually tattoos or something, but just tattooed students. Kylie, stand up. No, there aren't at all.
No, tattoos are frowned upon.
It's quite the opposite. It's become more of a trend, which is really fun because
Yeah.
some of the tattoos, and also you get some students who can design tattoos for you too,
Yeah.
which is really awesome.
There you go, it's all here.
More of that collaboration.
You can go to the Jackalope online magazine, and you can look up tattoos, and we have stories in the past that we've done that I have photographed for of students on campus who have tattoos. I'm really interested in that. I like to shoot tattoos, so yeah. Lots of very colorful people on campus.
We're just giggling, we're reading Raymond's next comment. Right on, video's a bit blurry, didn't notice.
You'll see, we're also slowly turning to teaching how to focus, so we'll get there.
Let's see, next question. What do you do for fun?
Is there time for that?
Yeah.
If so, we're gonna have to up, no.
Yeah.
Photography. No, I will let them,
Yeah, no, I personally, and I think this is true for a lot of students at this institution, is that we put any extra time back into our art. We're working on personal projects outside of our assignments, and
But there is the screen on campus, which is our on-campus movie theater. There's a movie, it's every weeknight, isn't it?
yeah, every weeknight there's
Every
a club.
weeknight.
Except Friday, I think.
And they show awesome movies, and it's free for students, and you can just go hang out and relax and watch a movie. You don't have to pay money for it. So that's what I like to do for fun if they're showing a cool movie.
Yeah, I like I said, I'm normally pretty busy with school, but like if we're talking on a personal level, I like to play video games, watch movies, read books. I love cooking, and that's really fun to do once you get off campus, or if you live in a campus apartment. You can't really do it in the dorms because there's no, unless you like make those like microwave like mug recipes, which I didn't try. I should have, but most of the time you find yourself pretty engrossed with the work, and it's not even like an issue. Like
It's fun work.
Yeah.
It's fun work.
And there's a lot of to go to, a lot of museums and so many galleries. Check out all the galleries, find out when openings are, usually Fridays and Saturdays. Go to all of them. You'll meet amazing people that'll help you with your art. So yeah.
and then there's the concerts on campus, readings, a lot of the students, you know, it's jazz, rock, whatever, and they have them quite often. Different bands or student bands are playing all the time.
Yeah.
So, and then there's nature. There's New Mexico. If you're into nature, hiking, skiing,
Tent Rocks.
I'm going camping this weekend.
camping. I mean, we're here in the
This week I'm
mountains.
not,
Skiing is right up the mountain from Santa Fe. It's a 20-minute drive out of town. So, yeah, there's a number of different things you can get involved in.
Let's see, our next question. Are students allowed to venture off campus to take photos?
Yes.
Yeah,
We want you to
Please.
do
It's
that.
heavily encouraged.
Sometimes
No.
you're not allowed to take photos on campus. That's happened.
No, we really encourage our students to go off campus, to photograph, and also to get involved in projects that are off campus. Like Kylie's working on a tattoo project, and she's been hanging out in the tattoo parlor. You know, it's really important to get involved in the community, and we really promote that. And that's why when working with projects and assigning projects, the hope is that the students will get off campus. So yeah, we really encourage that.
You know, and something that we're really trying to focus a little bit more on is, like right now, we're in the primary lighting studio. This is where we teach our lighting classes. But we really view not only Santa Fe, but the state of New Mexico as kind of an extension of our studio. I love when people get out and, you know, whether it's working in the community, working in the landscape, you know, there's really a lot that this area has to offer, and we like it when people take advantage of that.
Really, truly, your facilities is New Mexico, and it's a beautiful, beautiful state.
I mean, it's like the entire highway system is Willow's project.
I get lost daily on it. It's great. There's lots of fun places you can find just like by driving around, kind of getting lost.
As long as you get back.
Yeah, as long as you get back, it's
Or
fine.
something very colorful, please.
And also, what Willow is doing, for some of you that aren't from New Mexico, or you might be from the East Coast, and you see some different states, but she's working on a project of crosses along highways and roads. And here in the States, quite often, if someone kills in a car accident or something like that, their family will put a cross along the roadside as a memory for them. And so that is what Willow is doing now, is finding different crosses, photographing them, researching who the people are, and trying to find out more, so to put together their life with this cross. I think that's pretty much it. And so it's really quite a wonderful project, but I just kind of wanted to explain a little bit about crosses. So our students who want to, do you guys know anyone who ride the rail runner to and from school? A number of students do. We have a number of students from Albuquerque. They take the rail runner up in the morning or go home in the evening, or different times of the day. But yeah, a number of students do take the rail runner. And that's also a good way for students to get down if they want to go down to Albuquerque for a day or whatnot. So, yes.
I think half would ride the rail runner up as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. So, are there any museums around the university? What's on campus here, it's not a museum, but it's called Santa Fe Art Institute. And that's on campus. And they bring in artists in residence throughout the year. They put on exhibitions throughout the year. Last night there was an exhibition and a panel discussion about immigration with artists from San Salvador, Mexico, different parts of Central America. So we have Santa Fe Art Institute, but most of the museums are downtown Santa Fe. Actually, that's where a majority of them are. And it's about a 20-minute bus ride, I'd say. Or
15.
15-minute bus ride. And then also students are, go downtown with friends that have cars and whatnot. So, and there are a number of museums in Santa Fe.
So where do you guys, when you're getting off campus to go look at work, like, where's the go-to places?
Mine personally is Site Santa Fe because I really love the exhibitions and shows they put on. So, and I also got a free pass to go there. So Site Santa Fe is my place.
And then there's a new art, Mayor Wolf.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
oh my
I
gosh.
haven't been there yet. I need to go again.
You just want to call everybody close.
I have not been, I've been so busy, but basically Meow Wolf is owned by George R.R. Martin, Game of Thrones. He does live here. And it's this, like, so many artists in town and students have gone and worked there and created, and it's basically just a big, like, fun house of art. So, I mean, it's not really like a museum, but it's just art that you can go walk through and interact with, and it's super cool.
Yeah, it's a real art center. And a number of our students have gotten jobs there. A number of our students have interned there.
Yeah.
So, and you should check it out. I mean, I'd go on the web and look up Meow, M-E-O-W, and it'll give you a sense. It's really hard to describe, but it's incredible.
Let's see. Raymond has another question. Any tips for how to fill the summer preceding starting school in August? I'm interviewing for a second job next week and would like to make the most of my time outside of work. So how does one prepare to be a student here?
Just shoot. Just constantly shoot, whether
Make
it's good or bad.
photographs. Yeah, make photographs that speak to you. Show us what it is that really speaks to you and that you're interested in. But make photographs, make pictures.
Well, I think also, and you guys I think can probably talk to how important this is in sort of your time that you've spent here. Go look at photographs, and look at paintings, look at as much art and visual culture as you can get exposed to.
Go to as many openings as you can, because like introduce yourself to everyone there, because they'll remember you, and maybe you could intern for them or go learn something from them off campus.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that most of what I've learned here has actually been from being inspired by either other students or because we have to take history of photography. And I know this is kind of going off the question, but I was just kind of going off on this tangent too. But I think it's really, really important to be looking at other people's work, to be inspired by them, to realize like, oh, I can shoot photographs like this. I never thought of it that way. Or like, oh, this would be an interesting subject to photograph. And you can, it's okay to kind of let other work inspire you, even if that means you're kind of doing similar work, but as long as that's helping you get to like other steps. But, yeah.
Next question. Are there opportunities for students to publish their photography?
Yes.
That was an easier. You guys want to expand?
Yeah.
Just yes.
Back to Jackalope, the student magazine. Your work will be published every week online. Everyone sees it. Yeah, go to the Jackalope magazine. All of the students in there, all their work is published. It's a group of writers and photographers, and we work together and create stories for the week. And photographers, not only along with their stories, have their standalone photos, so you have pretty much free range to go shoot whatever you're interested in or activities that are happening on or off campus, and your work will be published every week online. It's a huge thing to use on your resume, and it's super cool.
We've had students that worked at, as I said, at the Santa Fe, New Mexico as interns, and their work has been published in the newspaper throughout their internship. And that's an incredible opportunity. Same thing for Outside Magazine. We also get calls from photographers in town looking for assistance or whatnot. And actually, Jennifer, didn't you get a call from Anthropology Magazine?
Oh yeah, I was supposed to be an assistant on a photo shoot, but they ended up not needing that. But the cool thing is that she kept me in mind and said that she'll be, if she needs like other assistants for future photo shoots, that she can get in contact with me. So regardless of whether that worked out or not, like,
yeah,
I'm happy.
So there are a number of possibilities for that. Any other questions? Is there anything else you all would like to say? I mean, about your experience here? And I mean, please feel free to say. But I mean, you know, how your experience has been here. And I guess you've already touched on it.
I have one thing that we haven't touched on that I probably talk about too much, but last semester I got to study abroad in Italy.
Oh, how did we skip over that?
I actually probably one of the main reasons I chose to go to the school is because I knew they had so many connections with so many schools all over the world. It's part of a family of schools called like laureate schools, and so there are laureate schools, like I said, all over the world. I went to Milan, Italy, I was deciding between Madrid or Berlin or Milan, such a problem to decide between these places. But I ended up choosing Milan because I knew that there would be Fashion Week during when I was there, and I got to attend that, which was really cool. But yeah, if you guys have any more questions about study abroad, go for it, because I am seeing many students taking advantage of that, as there should be. There are definitely more than there has been, but like that is one of my biggest things. I think you should study abroad, especially one piece of advice I have is it's really helpful to go somewhere that does not speak your first language. Because that's part of the experience of studying abroad, is being able to experience that culture shock and having to learn to, one, navigate through a place you have no idea how to navigate through. It's the first time I've been in kind of like a big city, and I had to use public transportation the whole time. And the second thing was just learning how to communicate with people that just didn't speak English. And learning Italian was really fun, but those are great things that you can put on your resume for the future. And being able to attend Fashion Week, and technically I got into some of the fashion shows, and I photographed outside of Gucci fashion show and Versace, so like those are great things to be able to put on my resume, and I definitely think everyone should take advantage of that.
Yeah, I feel very strongly about studying abroad, and I think I really promote it very much. I think it's quite an incredible experience and a growth experience. So yeah, we do. What was the deciding factor for you choosing Santa Fe University of Art and Design? Is that me? No. So we'll let it go down the line.
Oh geez, I can't even remember.
You're like the most
I have a bad memory, I'm sorry. I don't remember anything. I forgot what I had for dinner, and that was an hour ago. No, I think one of the main reasons, if I remember correctly, is the fact that it's not actually really far from where I live back in Colorado. And people kept telling me, like my one art teacher back in high school was like, you need to look into this school is fabulous, I think you'd enjoy it. So I came down here and I talked to people, and as I started going and looking at this place more, I realized that it felt a lot like a community I wanted to be a part of. So the community and the people were really one of the leading factors as to why I decided to come to the school. I think if it wasn't a good open community like it is, and there weren't kind people here, I probably would not have chosen the school.
Okay.
Yeah, I also was from Colorado. I had a recruiter come to my high school during one of our art shows, and was looking at some of my work and was like, let's do like a little interview, I think you should check out the school. And I came and checked out the school and just kind of like fell in love with it. Like, it's just small enough to be able to get a lot out of what I want and not be lost in the system. And New Mexico is just really beautiful. It's a very beautiful place to live, and I'm still close to home, so that's great too.
I'm from California, and at my high school, so deciding on a college is like really stressful, and I really didn't know how to go about it and like how to research schools. And so one day we were, as a senior class at my high school, we're kind of in the library applying to different schools, and we had the counselor going around being like, okay, what is your plan? And she came up to me and was like, where have you applied? And I was like, one school, and it's the same school my siblings went to. I don't really know what else to do. So she asked what I was interested in. I said creative writing and photography. And she mentioned she just visited this school in Santa Fe that's focused in art. And she mentioned that she was able to offer a scholarship to one student from our school who decided to go, and I was the only one who applied here, so I got the scholarship. But other factors too, I came to visit. I highly recommend that. If you're gonna go and decide colleges, go visit your top maybe like 3 choices, because I think one thing that sold me was the atmosphere of Santa Fe. It's very different. I'm from San Jose, California, so like Bay Area, kind of suburban area, and coming to Santa Fe, it's a very different experience, and my parents were talking about it more than I was because they had never been here. They're like, wow, this is amazing. But yeah, definitely scholarships were a big help, and being able to visit, again, do that. And also, like I said, the study abroad opportunities here really intrigued me.
For me, it was, because I'm from Central Texas, for me it was location, the financial aid, I can't speak right now, package I received, and what the program was offering at the time. It's changed a little bit, it's still a really great program, but there were some things that used to be offered that I was really intrigued with, that I wanted to learn. So that was kind of the deciding factor why I chose this school as opposed to the other two that I also got accepted to.
Okay, the next question is, what is the atmosphere like in the program, and how are the instructors?
Do you guys want me and Tony to leave for this one?
No, we want you to we want to just throw it at you right now.
So stand up in front of the screen,
I guess I can answer that first. I really have enjoyed my past 4 years here. I like that we're tiny. Chris and Tony can kind of hear that I'm always like, we don't need to grow, right? which is kind of a conflict of interest, because I am a student ambassador, so I help with all the open houses and tell the students why they should come to here. And so, the program's been really great. We're not super competitive. We're competitive in the sense that we want each other to grow, and I think that's really great. We all feel like we're running our own race, not running a race with each other. And I think that that's kind of unique. Not all art schools offer that. And so I'm glad that our program is like that, where we're encouraging and we're telling each other things that, like, there's offers out there. And we're like, I'm not the person for this, but try reaching out to this person. So I think that that's really great, that there's a nice community for our program.
Jennifer, might as well go down the line.
I mean, it's a little cliche saying this, but it is what you make it, honestly. I found out I enjoyed the photography department a lot more when I became involved, and once I actually started talking to people and putting myself out there, and that really helps with a good experience. And like Chelsea was saying, the best part about going to an art school and being in the photography department is being able to have this community of people in the same field, able to critique your work. And one of our professors keeps saying that this is the only time you're going to get where you're going to have that atmosphere of a whole bunch of artists just going for the same thing and being kind of lifting each other up, because we're not like fighting each other for like a promotion or whatever. Like, we're all here for the same reason. We want to create art, and people always have really great criticism because you have different points of view from photographers who are photographing different things or the same thing. And it's really helpful because you get to, like I said, seeing other people's work is really, really important. And asking each other for help is really, really important too. The instructors are really great. I had not taken any photography classes before I came here. I did musical theater all throughout high school and decided, you know what, I'm gonna go and do photography for the rest of my life. For whatever reason, I did that. And I know things about developing black and white film now. I know how to use Photoshop. I mean, minimally. I don't know who knows how to use it more than minimally, because it's a big program. But in Lightroom, I've just learned a whole bunch of things because the instructors are so helpful and ready to answer any questions as long as you're ready to be there and be involved and active.
Okay.
I think what I'm taking away most of my 4 years being here is all like the incredible people that I've met and lifelong friends. My roommate and I met at a dinner before we even started going to school here. There was a little dinner in Colorado of all the students who had got accepted, who were living in Colorado. I met him there and I was like, I'm not going to be friends with this kid, and now he's my best friend and he's my roommate, and we constantly bounce ideas off of each other, and at 3 in the morning we'll be like, let's go to a photo shoot. So definitely the people you meet, you're going to make friends for life, and it's awesome.
Well done.
Okay, I haven't been here long, so I can't speak for all the instructors. But the ones that I have talked to and the one that I have
You've been
had.
stuck with me all year, so.
It's not the one that I've had. But the other instructors that I have talked to, they're very open and they're very willing to listen to you and help you push forward. So even if you don't have a class with, let's say, Kirk, he's still very open to bounce ideas off of and to help you gain a better understanding of your images and what can come across through them. And the atmosphere here, I like the atmosphere. It's very nice and calming.
Chelsea may have a little different view, being almost ready to
It's like a pleasant chaos.
Yeah.
And just quickly too about the instructors, all of the instructors here in the department and pretty much throughout the school are working professionals. Kate Ware teaches history of photography, and as I said, she's the curator of photography at New Mexico Museum of Fine Art. Eric Swanson is a working commercial photographer. He teaches studio. Kirk Giddings does architecture, fine art, and he's a working photographer. Everyone, all of the instructors are working professionals. And as far as from the point of view of the chair, I mean, I think what we hope to do and what I hope we do for students is to help guide them on their way. And it's also a give and take. It's not just us teaching them. We also learn from our students, and that's really important. And I think somebody touched on this earlier. This is not a school where you're going to kneecap your roommate to get ahead. We're going to challenge you.
Depends if you dislike your roommate.
But if we are going to challenge you, but we're also here to support you, to help you make mistakes and learn from those mistakes. And as everyone here said, and that's one of the things that's a great gift for me, is to watch the students, how they support one another and help one another, and to take that next step, after that. So that's kind of what the atmosphere is like from my standpoint. So, do you work with film and photo editing? Yes, we do. Chris, you want to,
So just to kind of give a little bit of an idea, to a degree, we're making photos no matter how we do it. Somebody coming in, say straight out of high school, kind of coming in following the traditional college route. Beginning of your freshman year, first class you're taking is beginning photography, and that is a black and white analog wet darkroom course. Your second semester, you take beginning digital photography. So we want to make sure that just in that freshman year, our students get a solid foundation, both for analog wet practice and for digital photography. So, Willow's been through this whole year with me. We're getting ready to wrap up beginning digital. She hasn't cried too much yet, it's okay.
Tears make me
But, so in the world of photography today, digital is definitely the medium for the majority of the work that's being done. If you're talking journalistic work, if you're talking commercial work, and a good chunk of the fine art world too, digital is definitely the most common way of making images. But in terms of the art world, the wet darkroom practices are still very much alive and well. Actually, I love the way you put it, Tony. The wet darkroom has become what poetry is to prose. So we haven't said, there's no more poetry anymore. Of course there's still poetry. It's just like, there's something other than, pop music. It's probably a really bad analogy. I apologize. It's digital. But here we really do teach kind of the range of the medium. So, for instance, I teach a lot of the beginning alternative process classes. And that goes back to the very, very foundations, the start of our medium. Things like William Henry Fox Talbot's salt print process. This first time we were able to actually capture the action of light and make an image stick to a piece of paper. I always kind of liken it to, the invention of television, something like that. Or if suddenly we had, the moving photographs you get in the Harry Potter movies, it's like, we suddenly had a way to know what our grandparents looked like. We didn't have that at one point. And we go all the way through, the development of our medium, through, black and white gelatin silver in the traditional analog darkroom, and all the way through advanced digital process. And now we've also got a lot of, sound editing. We're bringing these other things that are increasingly a part of the medium that we work with. So not just still photography, but, some basic video editing. How do you do a little bit of sound work? How do we bring all these things in? So we really do try to teach the really broad definition of what is photography today. And that's everything from historic processes to, anything that you can do in Photoshop or Premiere or any other program. So.
I'll add something real quick to that too. Speaking toward film, another thing that you can do is also integrate both of them. I've done 2 projects now that involve scanning. I did one on 35 millimeter, just like a simple plastic camera, but 35 millimeter color film, and I was able to scan it. We have a really nice like film scanner and print them giant digitally. And work with them like on the computer, even though they were initially made with 35 millimeter film. And right now I'm working with Polaroid film, 600 Polaroid film that I've gotten from like the Impossible Project. And then I take those and scan those on some other really cool scanners that we have, work with them a little bit digitally, and then print them giant digitally as well on paper. So there's ways to integrate both too, which is really cool here.
Okay, next question. How is the food?
That's the last
This is
question.
okay. Well, how is the food?
Wow.
Gets better every year.
They're eating off campus. No, I'm just kidding.
There are a lot of amazing restaurants. I mean, when you first move to campus, you're kind of just like stuck in your dorm, like, oh my gosh, don't talk to me. But go off campus, just now, like, I've lived here for like 4 years and I'm still finding restaurants and coffee shops and places to go hang out that are like incredible. Like, Santa Fe has the best food. I would still move here for the food and only.
And how's
The food on, like I said, the food on campus gets better every year. It's done by a company called Bon Appetit, and they cater very much to the students. If there's something, if you have a certain diet that you're following, or if you can't have gluten or something, they will accommodate you. You just gotta speak with them, and like I said, they'll accommodate you in whatever form. But it's gotten better every year, and I've been here for 4 years.
And there's the grill.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which I believe, I don't live on campus anymore, but I think it opens up at 7. It's like kind of different from the normal meal hours. You can go and get like hamburgers and like chicken nuggets and french fries. Oh my gosh, the french fries. And quesadillas and cookies, and you can go and get it. You can get it to go, so you can go back to work, go back to your dorm. So I've eaten there a lot, and they're open late, so that's amazing.
It's just so you guys know, since this is a smaller school, I know a lot of college campuses have like a burrito place and like a cafe and stuff, but we just have the cafeteria because it's a small campus and there's kind of no point in having a whole bunch of options. So it's just a cafeteria. We have certain meal times, and they're gonna have certain meals, but there's also like ways to make sandwiches in case you don't like the meals that they have. They offer like soups and fruits and stuff like that. It's kind of like a buffet style, and you swipe your card and stuff like that. But it's how it works.
So, I guess we'll be wrapping it up now, but I want to thank you all for tuning in and for your questions. There were some great questions. And there's one last question, and this is actually, we'll do this because it's a good one, and it's important for anybody that's going to school. Do any of you have jobs in Santa Fe while out of class?
Yeah.
Yes. I work 5 days a week, and I am taking 5 classes right now. Having a job off campus is pretty great. You meet a lot of the community. I've met so many different artists coming in. I work at a small little coffee shop called The Better Day, and I've met so many people just by working there. I would definitely recommend your junior year trying to move off campus and get a job.
Absolutely. I started working second semester of freshman year, and I worked at Kmart as like a cashier, customer service representative, which was an interesting job. It took a lot of energy, but again, it took out before that. I found myself like kind of sitting in my room being like, what do I do now? Like I finished with my projects and stuff like that. And then also like, where am I getting money to go buy fun food and stuff like that? So then I started working at Kmart. I went away to Italy and was like, you know what, when I come back, I'm not gonna go back to retail. So I decided to go into food business, and right now I'm a waitress over at this sushi grill and cafe place called Tokyo Cafe, where I get free sushi sometimes, so it's rad. And I personally really like waitressing and stuff. And also what's really cool about working in Santa Fe, even if you're not working in the photography field, you'll be making connections that are helpful. For my design communication class, we were supposed to be taking pictures of food, and like my group was focusing on food as sculpture, like food presentation as sculpture. So I got to ask our sushi chef to make like a fish out of like rice and raw fish and stuff. So regardless of where you work, even if it has nothing to do with photography, make the best of it, and you'll be able to make some good connections that will be useful for your projects.
Yeah, my coffee shop that I work at is actually letting me show my senior show there. And they have artists show their shows there. So I've met so many different artists just by working there.
So, thank you guys very much, really, I appreciate it. And thank you all for your interest. And I hope you really will consider the university. I think we have a lot of good things to offer. And I also think we have incredible students, truly. And but I really, and I mean that sincerely. So thank you for joining us. Should you have any more questions or anything like that, please don't hesitate to call me or get a hold of Justin or Chris or one of the students. We can put you in touch with whomever. And Justin has my contact information, and we will try to answer any questions you have. So thanks again for tuning in, and hopefully we'll see your smiling faces here. Have a wonderful evening.
Bye-bye.
Bye.